Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a forest, dark, for the straightforward pathway had been lost.
Wow.
Those words, they just have such a pull, don't they?
Yeah.
Like we're right there with Dante, feeling lost and disoriented. So today we're diving into Canto 1 of Dante's Inferno. I'm so excited to explore this with you.
It's a powerful opening to an epic journey.
Right, and Inferno we know is the first part of Dante's Divine Comedy, but for anyone who hasn't explored this epic poem yet, could you give us a quick overview of what the Divine Comedy is all about?
Absolutely. Imagine this. Dante, our protagonist, finds himself lost, literally and metaphorically, in the middle of his life.
Okay.
And he is guided through the realms of the afterlife, hell, purgatory, and paradise, the journey of sin, repentance, and ultimately redemption.
And he's not just got any tour guide. He's got Virgil, famous Roman poet, leading the way.
Exactly.
What do you think Dante is trying to convey by choosing Virgil as his guide?
It's fascinating, isn't it? Virgil, as you know, represents human reason and classical knowledge. Having him as a guide suggests that reason can only take you so far.
Okay.
You need something more divine to reach true salvation. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're starting with Inferno and Canto 1 specifically, where Dante's journey begins in a very dark place.
Yes, that dark wood he describes. It's so much more than just a physical setting, right? What do you make of that symbolism?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Think about those times in your own life when you felt lost, unsure of which path to take. Filled with doubt, that's the essence of this dark wood. It's a state of spiritual confusion, almost like a wilderness within ourselves.
I like that.
Dante sets himself up as an everyman, someone we can all relate to in those moments of uncertainty.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he encounters those three beasts, each one scarier than the last.
Right.
It's like they realize out of that fear and uncertainty. Let's break him down one by one, starting with the leopard. What makes this beast so menacing?
Well, the leopard is often interpreted as representing lust and uncontrolled desire. It's swift and alluring, just like those temptations that can easily lead us astray. But there's a darker side to it. The leopard is also a predator, suggesting that indulging in those desires can have dangerous consequences.
It's like that saying, be careful what you wish for.
Exactly.
Sometimes getting what we crave can lead us further into that dark wood.
Precisely. And then there's the lion, which is even more intimidating. Think about the qualities we associate with lions. Pride, violence. A raw, untamed power. It's no wonder that Dante feels completely blocked by this beast. It represents that overwhelming force of ego and aggression that can prevent us from moving forward on our spiritual path.
It makes me think of those times when our own pride or anger gets in the way of making the right choices.
Exactly. And finally, we have the she-wolf, perhaps the most haunting of the three. Dante describes her as gaunt and starved, yet she's constantly devouring but never satisfied.
Wow.
It's a chilling image of greed and avarice, always craving more, never finding fulfillment.
You know that image of the she-wolf, always hungry, never satisfied? It makes me think of how consumerism often works. We're bombarded with messages that we need more, but that constant craving, does it ever really lead to fulfillment?
Right.
It seems like Dante is suggesting that true satisfaction comes from something deeper, something beyond material possessions.
That's a fascinating connection.
Yeah.
It's almost as if Dante is foreshadowing the struggles of modern society centuries before they even existed. That's the power of great literature, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
It speaks to something timeless within us.
Absolutely. But what I find really interesting is that these beasts aren't just symbolic. They actually physically block Dante's path.
Right.
It's like they have a tangible presence in his journey.
It's as if those vices, those negative tendencies have taken on a life of their own and are actively preventing him from escaping that spiritual darkness.
So at this point, Dante is lost, surrounded by these terrifying beasts, overwhelmed. Can't imagine feeling more hopeless. What happens next?
Just when Dante is about to give in to despair, a figure emerges from the mist, Virgil.
Talk about a plot twist.
Right.
Here's Dante facing down his demons, and suddenly his literary hero appears seemingly out of nowhere. What do you think Dante is trying to convey by introducing Virgil at this precise moment?
Well, it's more than just a convenient rescue, remember? Virgil represents human reason, the power of intellect.
Right.
His appearance suggests that even when we're lost in the dark wood, reason can offer us a glimmer of hope, a way to begin to navigate the complexities of life.
And Virgil doesn't just offer Dante a pep talk.
No.
He offers to be his guide, to lead him through hell and purgatory with the ultimate goal of reaching paradise. That's a pretty tall order. How does Dante react to this grand proposition?
He's humbled, overwhelmed. He compares himself to great heroes like Aeneas and St. Paul, wondering if he's worthy of such a monumental journey. It's like he's questioning his own strength, his ability to face the challenges ahead.
We've all felt that way at times, facing a daunting task and wondering if we're up to the challenge.
Exactly. And it's in that moment of doubt that Virgil reveals a crucial piece of information. He wasn't just randomly passing by. He was sent by someone very special.
Someone special, don't keep us in suspense. Who sent Virgil on this divine mission?
Beatrice.
Beatrice. So for those who aren't familiar with Dante's backstory, who is Beatrice and why is her involvement so significant?
Beatrice is the woman Dante loved, his muse, you might say. What's remarkable is that she's no longer living. She's in heaven. Yet she's so concerned for Dante's soul that she descends into limbo where Virgil resides and pleads with him to guide Dante on this perilous journey.
Wait, so she willingly goes into the depths of the afterlife to help Dante. That's a powerful testament to the kind of love she had for him.
Right.
It adds a whole new layer to the story. It's not just about Dante facing his demons. It's about the power of love, of divine intervention to guide us back from the brink.
It really makes you think about the unseen forces that might be at work in our own lives, those acts of love and compassion that we may never fully comprehend.
This is already so much more than I expected. Dante's journey is clearly more than just a literal descent into hell. It's a journey into the depths of the human soul with all its complexities, doubts, and glimmers of hope. It's incredible to think that Beatrice would go to such lengths for Dante, even venturing into the depths of hell for him.
It's pretty amazing.
It's an act of love that goes beyond anything I could imagine.
Yeah.
It also makes you realize that Dante's journey isn't entirely his own. He's got some serious backup from both the human and the divine.
It raises an interesting question, doesn't it? If Beatrice hadn't intervened, would Dante even have been able to face those beasts and embark on this journey at all? Perhaps he needed that external push, that reassurance that someone believed in him even when he doubted himself.
That's a great point. It makes you wonder how often we hold ourselves back because of our own self-doubt, and how a little encouragement from others can make all the difference. But before we get too caught up in the emotional implications, let's go back to those beasts for a moment. Each one represents a specific vice, but they also have these incredibly vivid descriptions. Dante's use of imagery is just masterful.
Absolutely. He doesn't just tell us what the beasts represent, he brings them to life through his words, making them tangible, almost palpable threats. Take the she-wolf, for example. He describes her as laden in her meagerness, a paradoxical image that perfectly captures the nature of greed. It's a hunger that can never be satisfied no matter how much it consumes.
That imagery is so powerful and disturbing. It makes you think about how greed can distort our perception, leaving us perpetually empty, always craving more. And then there's the way that those beasts physically impede Dante's progress. They're not just symbolic, they're active forces pushing him back into the darkness. It's as if Dante is saying that our vices, those negative tendencies we all have, can literally hold us captive, prevent us from reaching our full potential.
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? That our own internal struggles can become the very obstacles that prevent us from finding true fulfillment. But here's the thing, Virgil's appearance offers a glimmer of hope. He represents reason, the ability to confront those beasts, those dark aspects of ourselves, and find a way forward. It suggests that even when we feel lost and overwhelmed, we have the capacity to choose a different path, to seek guidance, and to embark on a journey of transformation.
And Virgil's guidance is crucial here, right? He doesn't just tell Dante what to do.
No.
He explains the reasons behind his action, the significance of the journey they're about to undertake. It's almost as if he's empowering Dante with knowledge, preparing him to face the challenges ahead.
Exactly. Virgil is more than just a tour guide through hell. He's a mentor, teacher who helps Dante understand the nature of sin and the possibility of redemption. It highlights the importance of seeking wisdom and understanding as we navigate the complexities of life, especially when we encounter those dark woods along the way.
You know, I can't help but think about the political climate of Dante's time. Florence was riddled with corruption and power struggles. Do you think those external forces might have influenced Dante's depiction of hell and the punishments he describes?
It's an interesting question and one that scholars have debated for centuries. Remember, Dante himself was exiled from Florence.
Right.
And many believe that he used Inferno as a way to critique the political corruption and moral decay he witnessed. Some even suggest that specific characters in Inferno represent real-life individuals, Dante knew their punishments reflecting his own judgments on their actions.
So while Inferno has this universal appeal exploring themes of sin and redemption that resonate across cultures and time periods, it's also very much a product of its historical context, a reflection of the social and political turmoil that Dante himself experienced.
Precisely, and that's what makes studying Dante so fascinating. There are these layers of meaning, these historical, political, and theological dimensions interwoven with these timeless human struggles. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, revealing new insights and complexities with each reading.
That's a fantastic analogy. It also makes me appreciate Dante's choice to write in Italian, the vernacular language of his time.
Yeah.
Most epic tomes were written in Latin, which was reserved for the educated elite, but Dante wanted his work to be accessible to a wider audience, and his choice of language helped to shape the very development of Italian literature.
It was a bold move, and one that cemented Dante's legacy as a literary innovator. He wasn't afraid to challenge conventions and to bring his unique vision to life in a way that would resonate with people from all walks of life. You see that reflected in Canto 1, his vivid descriptions, his masterful use of allegory, his exploration of profound themes.
Right.
It's all there waiting to be unpacked and interpreted.
You know, we could talk about Canto 1 all day,
We could.
but I'm eager to see where this journey takes us next. Dante has met his guide, faced down his demons, and he's about to embark on this epic descent into the underworld. What are some of the key things we should keep in mind as we delve deeper into Inferno?
First, pay close attention to the structure of hell. Dante envisions it as 9 concentric circles, each representing a different category of sin with punishments that fit the crimes. It's a fascinating exploration of Dante's moral philosophy and his understanding of divine justice.
That structure is key. It's not just a random assortment of punishments. There's a logic to it, a hierarchy of sin that reflects Dante's worldview. It also reminds us that every action has consequences,
Right.
and that the choices we make in this life have an impact on our eternal fate.
Exactly. And as we journey through these circles, I encourage you to think about the symbolism behind each punishment, the deeper meaning Dante's trying to convey. What are the lessons he's trying to teach us about the nature of sin, the power of redemption, and the ultimate consequences of our choices?
It's almost as if Dante is inviting us to confront our own inner demons, our own dark woods, as we journey alongside him through the depths of hell.
Precisely. And who knows, perhaps by facing those shadows, by confronting the darkness within ourselves, we might just find a path toward our own personal redemption, our own ascent toward the light.
What a profound thought. It's amazing how Dante manages to weave together all these complex ideas, moral philosophy, politics, human nature, all within this epic journey through hell. But before we move on to those 9 circles of hell, I want to circle back to something that really struck me about Dante in Canto 1, his emotional state. Here, he is chosen for this incredible journey guided by his literary hero, yet he's just riddled with self-doubt. Why do you think that is?
It's a question that resonates with all of us, wouldn't you say? Who hasn't felt that pang of inadequacy when faced with a challenge, even a thrilling one? I think Dante's wrestling with the sheer enormity of the task before him. He questions whether he's truly up to it.
I can relate to that. It's like that feeling of imposter syndrome where you doubt your abilities even when others see your potential. Do you think Dante's self-doubt serves a purpose in the narrative?
It humanizes him, makes him relatable. If he were this fearless, unwavering hero, his journey wouldn't resonate as deeply.
Right.
But by showing his vulnerability, his fear, Dante invites us to confront our own anxieties and insecurities. He reminds us that even the greatest journeys often begin with a single trembling step.
That's so true. It's not about being fearless, but about finding the courage to move forward despite our fears. And Dante does have that courage, right? He ultimately chooses to trust Virgil and embark on this journey despite his doubts. What do you make of that decision?
It's a pivotal moment. Think about it. Dante could have stayed in the dark wood paralyzed by fear, but he chooses to embrace the unknown, to face his demons head on, and that choice, I believe, is the first step on his path towards redemption. It's a reminder that sometimes the most transformative journeys require us to step outside our comfort zones, to confront those things that hold us back, and to trust that we have the strength to overcome them.
That's a powerful message. It also highlights the importance of having a guide, a mentor, someone like Virgil, who can help us navigate those difficult paths. Let's not forget the role of Beatrice.
Right.
Her intervention is truly extraordinary. I mean, she descends into hell for Dante. It's an act of love that goes beyond anything I could imagine.
It speaks to the transformative power of love, wouldn't you say?
It does.
And not just romantic love, but a love that transcends the physical realm. It's a love that inspires sacrifice, that drives us to act even in the face of overwhelming darkness. Beatrice's actions suggest that there are forces beyond our comprehension working in our favor, guiding us towards our ultimate good even when we're unaware of their presence.
That's a beautiful thought. It makes me think about the people in my own life who have shown me that kind of unwavering love and support, those who have believed in me, even when I doubted myself. It's a reminder that we're not alone on our journeys, that there are always those who care, those who are willing to walk beside us even through the darkest of times.
And ultimately, that's what makes Dante's journey so compelling. It's a reminder that even in the face of profound darkness, there is always hope. There is always the possibility of redemption, of transformation, of finding our way back to the light.
Yeah.
And that journey, as Dante so beautifully illustrates, is one we all must undertake.
What a powerful takeaway as we wrap up our deep dive into Canto 1. I'm left with a sense of awe and anticipation.
Me too.
Awe at the beauty and complexity of Dante's vision and anticipation for what awaits us as we journey further into the depths of Inferno. Listener, I encourage you to keep these reflections in mind as you delve deeper into Inferno. Pay attention to how Dante confronts his fears, how he navigates the treacherous landscape of hell, and ask yourself, what are your own dark woods? What beasts stand in your way? And who are your Virgils and Beatrices, those guiding lights that illuminate your path?
It's been a pleasure exploring this first canto with you. Until next time, may your journey be filled with courage, wisdom, and the unwavering belief that even in the darkest of places, redemption is always possible.